Okay, you guys, on number 11, I'm concerned because there's a lot of radicals that are going on in this problem, and I'm just concerned you're going to have troubles getting through it. So I'm going to help you out with number 11. There is a similar problem on number 21 that's going to be just as difficult. So let's go over 11. 11 is asking for really the sine of 60 degrees. So the sine of 60 degrees is going to equal the opposite, so that's going to be 9, over the hypotenuse of x. And then your tangent is going to be your other value that you're going to use. Tangent of 60 degrees is going to equal the opposite, which is 9, over the adjacent of y. Okay, so these are the two problems set up. Now, if you were to look on the chart, your sine of 60 degrees is going to be radical 3 over 2. And then when you multiply these, you're going to attach x to it. And it's going to equal 9. And I'm going to keep 9 as a whole number over 1. Okay, now remember, to get x by itself, we're going to have to take the reciprocal of the fraction next to it. So we're going to put 2 over radical 3 and multiply that. So whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. Now, cross cancel what's like. So on the left-hand side, we're going to cancel out the radical 3's and the 2's. But on the right side, there's nothing to cancel out yet. Okay, so when we write what we have left of this problem, we have an x on the left. 9 times 2 is going to be 18 as your numerator. And on the bottom, we're going to have a radical 3. So if you guys remember at the beginning of the year when we covered radicals, we cannot have a radical in the denominator. So in order for us to make this problem correct, we want to multiply by that radical 3. Whatever we do to one side of the fraction, we have to do to the other side of the fraction. So we end up getting 18 radical 3. And then remember, when we have two radicals as a multiplication problem, if we have the same number, 3 times 3, those two radicals are actually going to give us one whole number of 3. So we're actually going to have a whole number 3 on the bottom now, once we multiply that out to get rid of our radical. So in this problem, we can still reduce the 3 and the 18. So 3 goes into 3 once, and into 18 6 times. So our final answer is going to be x equaling, all we have left is the 6 and that radical 3. And that's the answer for x. Now looking at the tangent side. Tangent of 60 degrees is going to be radical 3. And then we are going to multiply against the y, so we're just going to attach the y to that. And this is going to equal 9. Okay, now I'm not using a fraction yet. I figured that if we're all in a straight line, these are all numerators, we can deal with this. So just like we do when we solve to get rid of a coefficient in front of y, we're going to want to divide by the number that's leading our variable. So we want to divide by radical 3. And whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So these radical 3's are going to cancel out. But on the right side, we are stuck with the radical 3 as a denominator, so we have to get rid of that. For us to get rid of it, we're going to want to multiply, let's see, what color do I want to use? We'll use brown. We're going to want to multiply by that radical to get rid of the 3. So what we have left now is y equaling 9 radical 3, and these pair of 3's gave us a whole 3 on the bottom. Now we need to cross, or we can divide. 3 goes into 9 3 times. And what we have left is going to be 3 radical 3. And that is the answer for number 11, x equaling 6 radical 3 and y equaling 3 radical 3.